It feels like everything we do, every single question we ask, every document we touch, it all just gets sucked up into the cloud. So we've got to ask a pretty wild question today. What if your AI just didn't connect to the internet at all? Exactly. And we're not just talking about toggling a few privacy settings here. We are making the case for something totally different. A new way of thinking, really. We're talking about truly private, completely offline AI.
And let's be real for a second. This is the stuff that keeps professionals up at night. I mean, if you're using one of those big AI tools to look at a legal contract or a patient's medical records, or maybe even your company's next billion-dollar idea, have you ever stopped to think, where is that data actually going? You think you're getting this amazing, convenient tool, but what you might really be getting is a cloud leak.
And look, this cloud leak thing, it's not some monster under the bed. It's not a hypothetical. It's the risk that's baked right into the system. You're sending your most secret, most sensitive information to some server somewhere controlled by some company whose whole business model might be to train their next AI on your work. For anyone who deals with confidential stuff, that's not just a risk, that's a full-blown catastrophe waiting to happen.
I mean, just look at this. This right here lays out the deal we're making, and honestly, it's terrifying. We're handing over our legal docs, our medical reports, our best ideas, and what do we get in return? The risk of it all leaking, the risk of them training on our data, the risk of a security breach exposing everything. We're basically trading away all our control just for a little bit of convenience. And you are absolutely right to be worried. That model you're talking about, this whole data for service idea, that's the foundation for pretty much every major AI tool you can think of. It works great for them, sure, but it leaves all the risk sitting squarely on your shoulders.
But what if you didn't have to make that trade? What if that whole scary trade-off just wasn't necessary? Just imagine for a second having all the power of a huge language model, but it runs completely, 100% on your own computer. No connection to the outside world. That is the paradigm shift we're talking about. It's about stepping away from the cloud and taking back total, complete control of your own data.
And that leads us to the core promise. And believe me, it is a powerful one. Your AI, your data, your control, forever. And this isn't about ticking a checkbox in the privacy settings or trusting some company's pinky promise. This is about the fundamental ownership of your own ideas.
Okay, hold on. That's a big promise. Forever is a really strong word. How is that even possible when literally everything else in tech is pushing us to the cloud? It's possible because we're changing the architecture from the ground up. So let me introduce you to RAGU. You can see it here. It's a semantic assistant that runs as a native Windows app, and it was built with one single goal in mind: to live and work entirely on your computer, to keep your work exactly where it's supposed to be, with you. So you asked how it's possible. Well, this is how. Going local changes the entire game. First off, it's 100% offline. Nothing you type, nothing you do, ever even touches the internet. And all your conversations, they're encrypted and stored right there, only on your machine.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm seeing no GPU required here. Don't most of these local AI things need a monster gaming rig to even run? Are you seriously telling me this works on a normal office laptop?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's been optimized to run on standard CPUs. And while you're looking, check out the cost model. You buy it once, you own it forever. No monthly subscriptions. You see, this whole approach, it's really more than just a piece of software. It's a philosophy. It's what the source material calls a move towards intellectual sovereignty. And that is just such a powerful idea. The idea that you, and only you, should have complete and total control over your thoughts, your data, and your creative work. So what do we mean by intellectual sovereignty? Well, it's the simple but powerful principle that your ideas stay yours, period. No outside servers peering over your shoulder, no chance that your private work gets used to train some other model, zero outside monitoring of any kind.
Wow, intellectual sovereignty. I really like that. That's the perfect way to describe what's missing from basically every other AI tool out there. It's not just about privacy anymore, is it? It's about ownership.
And this chart just makes it so painfully clear. With the cloud AI, my data's on their servers, it's probably being used for training, and I'm stuck paying them every single month, forever. It's a total nightmare when you lay it out like this.
Right. Now just look over at the RAGU column. Your data on your PC. Privacy, 100%. The cost, a single one-time purchase. When you look at every single category that actually matters, security, cost, control, the local solution is just the obvious winner.
Okay, I get it. The philosophy is solid, that comparison is pretty hard to argue with. But does it actually work, like in the real world? Let's see what this offline control actually looks like. Show me what it can do.
You got it. Let's dive into the features.
Okay, so the core of the whole system is right in the name. Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG. Basically, you can feed it your own local documents, PDFs, text files, whatever, and then you can just talk to them, have a conversation. And it only searches inside the files you gave it. It'll even tell you the exact page number for its answers.
Whoa, okay. So you're saying I could feed it a 300-page legal contract, ask it to find one specific clause, and it'll do it right there without that contract ever leaving my computer? That's a total game changer.
And it's not just about chatting with your docs. It's a whole toolkit. For example, here's the Summaries and Translations module. You can get a quick, concise summary of a really long confidential report, or translate a sensitive document. Wait, so let me get this straight. I could translate, I don't know, a super confidential merger agreement from English to Portuguese, and I can be 100% sure that not a single word of it ever went through Google Translate or some other online service? That's it exactly. Total privacy, total control. And check this out. Here's another thing that really sets it apart. The speech suite is also completely offline. It uses an open source tool called Vosk for speech to text, and your computer's own built-in voice for text to speech.
No way. So even my voice never leaves my machine? That's nuts. Most of these smart assistants are basically just microphones for the cloud. This is the complete opposite of that.
Okay, you know what? I'm sold. I totally see who this is for. This isn't a toy for writing funny poems about cats. This is a serious tool for serious professionals, people who actually value their data.
You've hit the nail on the head. And the source material actually calls out a few specific groups who would get the most out of this.
Right, so it's built for professionals, like in the legal or medical fields, who absolutely have to comply with strict privacy laws like GDPR. It's for researchers and students who want to create their own private search engine for, like, dozens of research papers. And it's even for writers and creators who want to hear their word read back to them to catch mistakes, but without ever uploading their masterpiece to the web. You know, for a lawyer or a doctor, that first point, that's not just a nice feature. That could literally save their career. Compliance isn't optional for them.
And this last quote here really just says it all. It captures the entire philosophy behind this. It says, we're not selling a better AI, we're selling offline control.
That is the perfect summary. In a world that's tripping over itself to get to the cloud, maybe the real innovation, the real next step, is taking back control of your own work, your own ideas, your own sovereignty.
And if you want to learn more and get that control for yourself, you can visit ragupro.com.